Hello everyone, my name is Whisk, and today I wanted to share with you what I thought was a very interesting Chaos Turbo Mirror match, especially game 1, and we will also go over game 2, but I think I will put the main focus on more detailed review for the game 1 specifically, and then we will just run through game 2 as well. So, as always, we will keep the opponent's hand closed and my hand revealed. I hope that the mouse clicks are not too distracting, but if there is any one of the watchers who knows how to properly configure OBS, I am very not proficient with it. So if you can hear the mouse clicks, I'm very sorry, and I hope it doesn't bother you too much. So okay, let's go into the review. My opponent starts and goes with double Thunder Dragon, sets one and pass. So we know that he doesn't have any good starter flips, and he probably plays Chaos Turbo or Chaos Control. Our hand is has only one decision, or maybe two decisions. First is which monster to set, and then whether to set both or one spell or trap cards. There is also the move to play Breaker and destroy his set, but normally I don't ever consider this as the turn 1 move, because the sets are almost always like chainables or Jars of Greed or Regeki breaks, and like I said, chainables. So it is in Chaos Turbo Mirror always better to try to put in the passive pressure by trying to establish a floater in the terms of flip. So if you're playing against Warrior, you would consider setting Sangan first, but against Chaos Turbo, you can also consider setting Sangan first, especially if they're only out to set his Regeki break. They might be tempted to kill the set, because the only punishments for the Regeki break on the set are only Sangan and Serpent, so that's 2 cards in the deck. But I don't think they will do that unless you have a Trinity piece in the graveyard. So what are the benefits of setting Sangan here? Well, Regeki break, but we don't have the Trinities. And well, if he has knock or main deck mind control, these are also the benefits, because then our spy will resolve. If he doesn't have knock, then the Sangan will just be kind of stupid, and we will be very much happier to have set the spy. But I personally, when I get this opportunity, I think I like to do the knock check, because this, combined with a small probability that he might be Regeki breaking the Sangan, I think I want to save spy to see if the coast is clear with Sangan. And then for the back rows, in Chaos Turbo Mirror there is not much use for MSTs, holding MSTs, except Snatch still. So you can decide to set both in this case. Maybe even bait his Heavy Storm. I don't know. So he goes Breaker on the MST. His back row was Regeki break, which he pops on the Sangan. So the theory which I explained the turn before kinda paid off very nicely. Now at search, it's so early in the game, I think it's the best if you just go for the Serpent. You could also go for Tsukuyomi, because Tsukuyomi can kill the Breaker for free, but then we would have 3 normal summons, and we already want to set Spy the next turn. So, we top deck Tsukuyomi anyway, but like I said, we don't want to actually summon Tsukuyomi here, we want to set first monsters. Well, you could ring here or not. There are some good cards that you can top deck with Jar of Greed, like Trinity Piece, Trap Dash, Shoot, Regeki Break. So I think in this specific case, the not using Jar of Greed here is actually a mistake. Now he reveals that he does not have like a nobleman, or he's holding it, but normally you would not holding in this scenario. Now we get the spies, and he sets one monster. We top deck Knight A7, and now I guess I finally remember to use the Jar of Greed actually. Okay, got the snatch. Now what is our plan? So we are looking at this board without, and the plan is to, well, kill his guys and remain with floaters if possible. So the possibilities are set assailant, very bad. No need to explain that one, right? Then summon Tsukuyomi and attack with all monsters. The problem is I'm afraid of Mirror Force. So we are left with Breaker, pop the back row, and then see what happens. I like this play the most here. The back row has Heavy Storm, and now we can attack. And this puts us in a good position, especially because his set is Dekoichi, and now we have 3 monsters. And this is what you always want to establish in the mirror. Knight A7 gets back Dekoichi, so he shoots, goes back Tsukuyomi, and we can assume that his monster is Dekoichi, the most likely, because it was returned by Knight Assailant. But what else? So this, I kinda got mixed signals here, because so here I was looking at another unknown back row after Charity, and I was thinking, what is the likelihood of it being Mirror Force in regards that he sent back my Tsukuyomi? Because I was thinking that if he has Mirror Force, then if I summon Tsukuyomi in the main phase 1, she will die to Mirror Force. And if I put a spy in defense and then attack and then Tsukuyomi in main phase 2, it's kind of slow. But I guess he didn't want to mess with any of this, so he just puts the Tsukuyomi back, and he hopes that I don't have a light access anywhere in this game, because otherwise BLS is very problematic. So with this in mind, I decide that he probably doesn't have Mirror Force, but I want to attack with 2 spies anyway. So the Mirror Force is the biggest punishment, but in reality it's still 1-for-1 trait, but it does put me in a very bad spot. If he has Mirror Force, because then he has a set and I have nothing. These are not very good sets. So considering all of that, the Mirror Force is really a problem here, and it would not be a bad idea to put a spy in defense. If the Mirror Force would not be such a bad punishment for us, for example, if he did not have a monster ahead, then I would definitely attack with both spies. But considering what I stated earlier, I think you must respect Mirror Force, because if he has Mirror Force, I'm repeating myself again, the punishment is too bad and you are put in a very bad position. So this actually happens for me. And now I'm looking at his set and I don't have any way to clear it, no lights, and 2 very bad sets. So the life points are a concern, especially. So I decide to just block at least 1 attack or eat a nobleman with Serpent. It is what it is. Deco resolves and I sponge this attack. Get it back. So now he has 1 set and 1 back row unknown. And we are in the kinda same position as previous turn, because we have misplayed with spies. The only difference is that now we can try to snatch still his Dekoichi and by this means kill his set. This is not like a standard play to snatch still the resolve the Dekoichis and attack into sets, but in this particular scenario, assuming that this Dekoichi goes through, then we can set the Knight Assailant, then we can pop the next set with Knight Assailant, and at least we have some initiative, and at least we are not getting pummeled with the Decoichi every turn for 14. So that's why the play here is to try to snatch. Unfortunately for us it was spy, so now we are in kind of a stalemate, and now it's not so clear that setting Knight Assailant is good, but here is what I'm thinking now. If I set Knight Assailant and he sets a new set, that's fine, at least I can destroy him. But if he decides to attack my Knight Assailant with a spy, then I can use the effect to pop the defense position spy and attack the attack position spy with the Decoichi, so that's something. Therefore, I'm thinking he probably won't attack with spy because of the Decoichi. Of course, there are other things that can go wrong in this scenario. For example, he could like kill my snatch and get back the Decoichi and attack with everything, and I have defense, but I don't have any alternative plays here, I think, so I'm just proceeding with the Knight Assailant plan, and of course also setting ring. He gets back Serpent and sets 1. So every set is putting a big stress on me, pressure, because it could be Moth, Magician of Fate, and if that happens, I'm really going to lose. But I'm thinking, in this case, I don't think I will activate Knight Assailant quite yet, because the set is probably not Moth. I think he's bluffing at least one time. And I have a free attacker that I can use first. And so I'm trying. Now he does Search Fate with Sangan and goes for the Koichi. Now I'm kind of forced to first dig, of course, with the Koichi. Maybe I draw the Nobleman. I don't, and now I'm forced to use Knight Assailant. I think I'm forced, because otherwise it's just psychological games, mental games. It's unclear whether the opponent is baiting or not. So unfortunately for me, it was Serpent. He attacks with BLS, so we are forced to use Ring here. Sets 1. See what the Koji gets us. Gets the upstart. Gets the knock. Well, we can use the knock now. It's the Koichi. So he banishes 2. We have 2 already. We still don't have any lights. We don't want to commit the 5th monster, because then our 5 zones would be blocked. So don't want to do that. I just want to put Knight Assailant in defense, set Mirror Force, and pass. Tribe, it's going to clear the board, and the Koichi goes back, and forced to Mirror Force, and now this Charity from Heaven is going to gracefully go into the game. I mean, not game, but we get some nice pluses. Now we have a light, access, and of course pot first. Okay, now we have protection for BLS against Snatch, and we have a set that we can put next to BLS. So I mean, of course we will summon Chaos Sorcerer here first. Here it would be, I think, a big mistake to only set Knight Assailant, because then it would be killed for free, potentially. So Chaos Sorcerer, Knight Assailant, Rigeki is the better play, because we achieve a lot of pressure on the board. Okay. He answers with his own CC, Chaos Sorcerer, and with abduct Nobleman. This Nobleman allows us to save our Regeki Break, which is the strongest trap card, and we always want to save it if possible. And we can deal with both monsters with only Night Assailant and Knock. And then we will tribute for Thunder Dragon and keep the pressure this way, while preserving Regeki, Snatch, BLS and Tribe. Tribute first, then Knock in case of torrential, right? There goes Moths. Duo, Serpent, Thunder, set one pass, and now we see the opportunity to go for game if he has anything except Regeki Break. So it could be Regeki Break, right? Yeah, not so clear. 12 cards in deck, 1 Regeki Break in the graveyard. But you know, sometimes you have to risk it. I don't know if it's the best. I risk it. It's actually Ring, which doesn't stop the BLS. And of course, now the only set that can stop us is Spies are gone, so Night Assailants are gone, so the only set is Tsukuyomi, but it is extremely unlikely that he would set Tsukuyomi across Thunder Dragon, so BLS is now going to win. And then, as promised, I will also go through, I think this was very interesting game 1, because it demonstrated some of the mirror match principles that I follow. And then, as promised, I will also go through the game 2, but not so much in detail. So, card destruction, we lose 2 chaos. Very, very unfortunate. He does not go +1 with the card destruction, but goes actually -1 with it. But Thunder Dragons sets 1. Now I have Thunder Dragons. I'm holding Duo. Don't want to Duo because of the double Thunder Dragon. Don't want to Mind Control because there is no risk of high impact Magician of Fate yet. So I would actually probably set Dikoichi and Regeki Break and use Regeki Break on his set, so that my Dikoichi would be a floater next turn. I think this is the best play. Of course, it loses very hard to Sangan and Serpent, but still, those are only 2 cards. But in the game I actually didn't do this, I believe, but I'm not sure why, because right now this seems to me to be the best play. So the Koichi Regeki Break, his set. Aha! I remember what I did. I set Mirror Force, which actually loses to Breaker, but it survives everything else basically except Breaker. So if he has the Koichi and attacks, or if he has Spies and attacks both, we can just Mirror Force and then we still have Floater the Koichi. So it's either you lose to Serpent Sangan, which are 2 cards, or you lose to Breaker, which is 1 card. So I guess it's better to go for the Breaker. So now we know that the first set is probably Serpent or Sangan, or even Tsukuyomi, but more likely Serpent or Sangan. And so that's why we will try to attack the new set, not mind control it. If you can attack, you prefer to attack, but first graceful. So I set trap dashut and mof, and trap dashut reveals a lot of things. TD, Chaos, Knight Assailant, Mind Control, Knock, and we put Chaos Sorcerer back. So, Mind Control on card destruction, and then card destruction our entire hand. He gets the double Knight Assailant, puts back 2 Knight Assailants, pot, Grace, 2 Knight Assailants, again goes for a Knight Assailant and Dekoichi and Duo. Now we also get Knight Assailant, but now we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are -4. So this looks like a very saucy mirror force here, and but if I mirror force here, then it's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm -2 and he is up on the draw, and he will set a monster because he hasn't summoned yet, and we will be again behind on the summon with no mirror force and nothing else. So with this in mind, I want to actually hope that he will set Dekoichi, or very likely Spy the next turn. He will believe that I don't have mirror force because this went through. He will flip the Spy or Dekoichi and then attack with everything, and then I will mirror force there. That was the idea of holding mirror force. So Nox. Now the idea is kind of fumbled because he decides to banish Moth. He's not going for damage with Sork and putting Sork to defense. Now again I can't mirror force here. Now we still go with the plan, but it's mind controlled and does not flip anything. So now we know that our Spy will come back next turn. We'll put him to defense and he will benefit with Sork and put Sork to defense again. So next turn we again have a bad mirror force. But if we mirror force now, then he will get his own Spy with our Spy. But maybe that is okay. But at this point I'm very desperate and so behind on cards. I just say, doesn't matter, we will keep holding this mirror force forever and see what happens. So at least we get back the Spy, but it's face up, so it will get banished. Magician dies, but now we are forced to mirror force, and now we actually top deck Snatch, Ring, Mirror Force Breaker, and this is almost game. Not quite yet. But when Mind Control goes on Dekoichi and Dekoichi top decks Upstart, and Upstart top decks Chaos Sorcerer, I mean, it's not the game, but we can force a draw. Because Snatch Steal, then 23 plus 23 plus 16 plus Ring is enough for a draw. So we go for this, and it's a draw. But opponent, I think he had to go earlier, so we didn't get to play the next game. But I hope that the video was entertaining, especially game 1. I hope that you learned something new. If you have, leave a comment. If I'm misplaying too much, leave a comment as well. The next video will be a match against warriors, so stay tuned for that one. Goodbye.